Hey everybody, it's Michael from clearingconnect.com back with you again today. And I really wanted to jump on here and during the course of my workday, when I'm preparing and writing group clearings and aspects of my website, working with individual clients, I often, my interaction and my experience with this is often something that I find has more wide appeal and application. I really want to share it with you as a point of insight and teaching and helping you to be able to come along on your journey of self-discovery and healing and clearing and mastery. So my work often involves what I call karma clearing, and karma is just another word for the programming of the soul. I guess that doesn't really sound like I've described it very specifically because I'm using kind of jargon terms here. I'm basically saying that the programming of the soul is the energy that we have developed, positive or negative sometimes, over the course of our soul's history. And beyond our physical body, there's this non-physical database. People call karma sometimes, they call it subconscious, they call it programming. And this, all really spiritual development and techniques for transformation in life, even something more grounded and common like the field of modern psychology, all really talk about that the non-physical aspect of our being is constantly impacting the physical aspect of our being. This intersection between the physical and non-physical is really what we're talking about when we're talking about programming, soul, subtle energy. Sometimes we might call it our mind, thinking mind, our subconscious, our emotional body, our Akashic field, our soul records. These are all just different components or different ways of approaching the same kind of thing. So those of you watching this video, finding me or in a process of personal discovery, really already know this. I think we can intuitively resonate with the idea that the soul, something non-physical about us, is really driving the ship of our lives and can really do a lot of explaining as to why would people maybe even born into similar times and places with similar access to opportunities perhaps, why would they have radically different experiences of life? Sometimes calculable differences, like one person really being able to feel released into their purpose, successful, feeling fulfilled in every way, and another person feeling like that's just a lifelong struggle, I just can't deal with it. So in this video, I wanted to say that the subconscious or the energy field is really driving the ship of our lives. But it's not to say that it's a one-way street. It's not to say that we're the victims of it, or there's a passive process necessarily that we can't do anything about. That's why the karma clearing work or other types of working with subtle energy, psychology, thinking, divine beings, angels, working with subtle energy, that's why this can have such a major impact on us, is because we begin to go behind the curtain, so to speak, and to work with more of the level of what is causing my life to be this way. Now, the other way, it's not just a one-way street, is that our present physicalness, our body, our present emotions, nervous system, this physical aspect that we can see with our five senses and participating with our five senses, this is also sending energy, creating energy that goes into the subtle field of our being as well. I'll give you an example of that. It's the reason why I wanted to create this video. So one of the things that I routinely do at the end of a group clearing or a video where there's a clearing process or individual clearings is we'll do a clearing around, at the end, of the actual issue of the soul wanting to or having any reason to recreate what we have just cleared in the current clearing session or even in clearing sessions prior to that. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that our very programming, our being, whether we want it, we certainly do not want it, whether we're trying to do it, and we're certainly not trying to do it, we certainly don't deserve to do it, it's not a punishment, the soul will tend to create and recreate more of the content that is within it. It will tend to outpicture that content, creating more energy, attaching more energy. replicating, you could say. It's like a self-replication system. And the higher the charge, the energetic charge on the energy itself, whether positive or negative, that will often indicate how quickly, or if at all, or how much the energy that may have been cleared, transcended, healed, forgiven, released, gets recreated again. This is an interesting concept for me to really learn about, and it's part of the teaching of SRT, or spiritual response therapy, that the soul, or the totality of really of your individual being, recreates what it knows. This is the reason why our programming, getting to it, clearing it, working with it, is so important. Because whether we really want something or don't want something, our soul will recreate the programming often that is there below the surface, especially the stronger the energy. So I'll give you a more specific example. When I check on issues, say I do one session with someone, then I do another session with them, week later, month later, year later, whatever it is, I can then go back and see, first of all, to what extent has the person been able to receive the benefits of that previous clearing at their different levels. I can check each chakra even. We can check at the level of their soul or spiritual self, the level of their mental self, emotional self, and their somatic self or physical self. That can be very interesting to check right there, because the soul in the karma clearing work that I facilitate always receives 100% of the benefit, because the soul it's much easier for the soul to let go of things. So the soul receives it, but the mind, the emotions, and the physical body, the somatic self, are really under our personal control and domain on a day-to-day basis. They're more about our own choices, even if we're not aware that we're making choices. Am I really ready? Am I really released? Am I willing? Am I prepared to forgive, to let go, to open up? Have I done my own conscious work? If we haven't done any conscious work, then even when the soul clears, it often doesn't feel like it impacts us very much. So there's this issue of our present body-mind system, our conscious work to become ready, to become available, and then the work that's happening in the soul or the spiritual level. These two things constantly interact. Now, when a spiritual clearing takes place, the soul, as I just said, clears, releases. Why would I be asking about the issue of recreation if the soul has been so receptive to clearing in the first place? Well, it often comes down to the fact that if our present body and emotional self has not yet really dealt with the reasons why we're holding this particular type of energy in the first place, the body-mind system may go out there and just re-attract, remake, recreate the very energy that has already been cleared in the soul. Even though we're not aware of it happening, even though we don't want it to happen, even though we're not conscious of it happening. This often happens in the case where there's been deep pain that someone's experienced. In the cases of trauma, for instance, that when there's a very strong energy like anger, rage, these hot, intense energies. Now, a person may feel very cool on the outside. They may feel like they don't have this stuff that they're actively feeling at the moment, but at the tissues of their body level, at this part of their selves that is under their dominion somehow, their control to be able to actively work with the energy when they're ready to do so, they may be burning with anger at the level of their organs, their nervous system. It may be all just pressed down. That energy is incredibly creative and will sometimes block any type of healing or clearing you're trying to do from really being able to affect your life in a positive way. Not only that, it will sometimes recreate the very energies that are being cleared already for you at the spiritual level. So I wanted to really kind of share that today. To sum up what I'm trying to say in this video, what I'm trying to say is that the ability to change our lives in any way that we're looking to, clear something, heal something, fix something, release something or someone, open to something new. Oftentimes the areas people are trying to open to, purpose, realization, peace, bliss, inner states, prosperity, money, relationship attraction or letting go, health. These areas are ubiquitous. We all want to actualize them. And when we do, we feel more fulfilled and successful in some way in our being. So we're looking to do that. In order to get there, we have to be able to work at all the levels of our being. We can't simply work at the spiritual level only and neglect our own conscious, active work. Many people, especially the kinds of people who might find me or watch my videos, they're already attuned to the idea of spiritual shift and change being important and wanting to access that realm. That's certainly where I was when I first started this journey. But I'm here to kind of bring it back home a little bit and say that the spiritual level is absolutely essential. It's important, and it's extremely rare that anyone actually even finds it authentically and really. So if you're watching this, you are among those people who have actually found it. But we need to not go off somewhere or pretend that the answer is out there somewhere in this spiritual level or in the sky somewhere or with a being floating around in the clouds. These are the old kind of mythological perspectives about where our solutions and answers come from. Once we've expanded, once we've opened up, we need to then bring the energy. We need to bring it back to ourselves, present body-mind system, and we need to prepare the space for the spiritual energy to descend into the physical body, the nervous system, the mind, this life right here and right now. We need to have both ends of the spectrum, both polarities, the spiritual as well as down to the physical. We need to have these aspects of our being more opened, receptive, connected, and in harmony with each other. So many spiritual teachings and books and methods out there completely miss this fact. They miss it often because they rightly suggest that the spiritual level is really the ultimate root cause of everything that is both positive and everything that perhaps is most negative. It emerges from the level of the non-physical. But what they don't understand, though, is that we are human beings as well as spiritual beings. We have these levels and layers of our being so that we can learn to exercise healing and dominion over these levels of our being and to bring them together in balance, in harmony, in a synthesis and synergy. I think no one really said this better than Jesus, who said, "On earth as it is in heaven." Think about that for a second. On earth as it is in heaven means, may the heights of the spiritual realm of causation and programming and energy, non-physical world, less dense world, may that be also equally as present with the earth level, the physical, the human level. He was talking about these levels being at the same time, same place, co-equal realities harmonized with each other. Not talking about ascending, going somewhere, not talking about going to a place called heaven. That's as if that's somewhere else. We need to, as people who are more spiritual healing oriented, sometimes new age oriented, we need to understand that we need to work on all the components and levels of our being, make each one, not neglect our nervous system, our emotional body, not get too highfalutin for ourselves and say, well, it's off on another planet somewhere and it's another lifetime somewhere. Yes, all of these things are true, but we need to remember coming back to ourselves here and now is the ultimate goal. Being in a state of flow, openness, balance, harmony with the heavens, harmony with the earth, harmony with our neighbor. This is how success, healing, peace, all the things I just mentioned, that each person is really looking for in life. When we begin to actualize, I feel like I have some sort of secret here, but it's not a secret because this is already intuitively known by each of us and has been talked about for eons of time. If we can just bring together the wisdom traditions of the world, we realize that bringing harmony to the physical and the non-physical universe in a balanced way, in an open way, in a way that's flowing, in a way that's contained, flowing, but also balanced and harmonious, then this is the ultimate way of becoming masterful in life. Now, this has been a long way of me saying that I don't like the terms ascension so much because it seems to apply going somewhere else. There's a lot of New Age literature and videos talking about, well, we're going to 4D, and then it's 5D, and then it's 8D, and then it's... I'm like, none of that is of interest to me. We don't need to think about going somewhere else. We need to think about, let's expand to the infinity of spirit, but let's also bring that back and integrate it authentically, sincerely, within our own body-mind system. We're not here to simply shed this physical body or pretend the physical body is meaningless. Many traditions, which I think are unfortunately barking up the wrong tree sometimes, talk about the non-existence of the physical world, the non-existence of the physical body, and none of this, they think that we just need to transcend it and shed it, and there's no point to taking care of it. But I have found that the people who do not emphasize integration and balance in their spiritual journey, I feel like tend to get off course often really, really quickly and end up not recognizing sometimes the harm that can be unintentionally created when we lose balance, integration, and harmony. So I'm just here to say in this video that I want you to remember that it's not less spiritual for you to work on your emotions, work on stretching and opening the body, work on being receptive, feeling good, connecting with nature. These things have been taught for eons of time by the wisdom traditions of the world. We sometimes lose them, though, if we're going up and out and trying to find solutions somewhere else. We need to be open to all these realms, but to bring the solutions back to this moment. So I hope you'll take this sort of circuitous way of talking about this today. It's been on my heart to share with you. I'll have many more things I want to teach on these topics, and I hope that you receive this with love as it was intended. See you next time, folks. Peace and blessings to you.